Hey, this is Ken Casey from the Dropkick Murphys, and I love the Grandstanders! Take it away, kid!
Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor, Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's the barber to the stars, Hollywood Pete McGilvery. Well, we have a special show tonight. It's our
certainly
Super Bowl edition.
Third in the last 4 years.
Absolutely. Yeah. It never gets over.
It's an annual show.
Almost.
I know. We are so spoiled rotten. First of all, I want to thank our sponsor, the wonderful Dante's Pizzeria, 415 Harvard Street. Say hello to David. He's our favorite guy in Brookline. All right, so, boys, it's time. First of all, what? Go ahead, Pete.
Well, David's a good guy. We all know that. But our favorite guy.
Favorite guy. We've got the barber. We've got the mailman.
Well, you know,
We got Tommy.
Yeah, right. Oh, my.
Right.
He always stays loyal to Tommy, even when Tommy's 47
Look,
years
we all
old,
know you
holding
hate,
a clipboard.
We all know you hate Tommy.
Yeah.
So
Well, let's even just go to Tom Brady right now.
Team Jimmy.
Let's do that.
It's going to end badly for Tom Brady ultimately in his career.
Knock on wood. Are you crazy
There's
or
three
something?
things that's going to happen to Tom Brady, right?
What, the ATV is going to tip
How
over?
his career is going to end. I can't believe you guys already got me into this. His career ends with him being taken out on a gurney, okay? Right?
gurney?
Exactly. Him being booed off the field.
never.
Or
not in a million
him
years.
playing to like 48 and being a backup quarterback holding a clipboard. Tell me, right? That's the three options.
No.
He is not going to give up this game ever.
He's gonna get to the point, and hopefully he'll win one, and that will be it. He'll say, "I did what I wanted to
could
do,"
be
and
as
he'll walk
early
away.
as this
I agree,
year.
man. This guy's got everything planned out.
So you think he'll walk away on top?
Yeah, I actually
Oh,
do.
yeah.
I actually think. I don't know if. By the way, I don't know if he'll walk away on top, having won a Super Bowl. I think he is going to walk away from this game when he's ready, and my guess is he's going to be in full health.
Okay, when he's ready, but will the fans already be ready for him to leave?
No, never. He will never, ever, ever get booed. He's
Joe,
like
do you think
Larry
he gets
Bird.
booed off the field and that's how his career ends?
Never.
Come on, Joe.
I really can't see booing him. No matter.
Would you have
if
ever
he got
booed Larry
terrible.
Bird?
What's that?
Would you ever booed Larry Bird?
No, but I think basketball is a different
No.
kind of
He
sport.
will never get.
What's it? No, of course
No,
not.
he will
Bobby
never
Orr.
get booed.
No, I can't
Brady's
see
not
that.
in that era.
You know,
Tom Brady has been booed as recently as
he's
a couple
got so
years
much
ago.
in the bank
No,
that you
it's
can't.
over. Yeah, he's.
All right, I would not boo Tom Brady. No, but I
Oh,
think
you
that-
would just bring the
You would
subject
boo
up.
anybody, so if
No,
you would
I-
not boo Tom
exactly.
Brady, then no one's booing Tom
I know, but
Brady.
you guys got me into it. All right, so you're the one who brought it up, all the Tom Brady love. I get it. We love him. All right, so it'd be nice if Tom Brady, in his Super Bowl history, which is quite extensive, this is his 8th Super
More
Bowl.
than anyone else in history.
Right. It'd be nice, and 15% of all Super Bowls played. It'd be nice if he scored in the first quarter, which he's never
Not
scored.
a point
Not a
in the
point.
first quarter.
How remarkable a
It's
statistic
amazing
is
stuff.
that?
Belichick didn't like them bringing that up.
It
either.
is. There.
Oh, is that right?
He was pretty pissed
Well,
about
it's
that.
boxers feeling each other out. You look, there's enough of a sample size that there's a pattern there. And I think the pattern is sort of your point, Pete, in boxing. You kind of want to test some things, see how the other team's going to respond. And I don't think they're willing to throw everything in the kitchen sink into the first quarter because they know they want to hold these plays until the third or fourth quarter.
I wouldn't mind having a little blitzkrieg package planned and go down and get a 10-point lead.
So a little hurry up offense to
That's not
begin
a
the game?
Tom thing. That's a Bill thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Bill decides on the strategy.
Yeah, all right. So we're not doing any hurry up offenses. In the
Oh,
first
but
quarter.
I think
by the
you're
way,
right.
I think this. I think you could see them spread it out, hurry it up, try to run the ball from a spread offense. I think they're going to play up tempo a lot this game.
Yeah, you want Fletcher Cox a little tired. You don't want him coming at you on every play.
So we try to be the smartest show on TV, which of course we are. So of course, always the smart question is, who's the guy on offense that we're not thinking about, nobody's focusing on, who could end up being the star of the game? And all right, I'll answer the question for me.
Chris
Hogan. Right. So he's done absolutely nothing. All right, so what do you think?
I agree with you, but I don't think that he's ready yet. He's still
The
hurt, I
shoulder's
think,
still
yeah.
bad.
But he's been under the radar. Obviously, he's
Yeah.
not played a lot of games.
Well, and he's shown, to your point, he's shown he can make big plays in big games. I mean, he was a key in
Against
that comeback
Pittsburgh.
last year. Well, but the Falcons comeback, he played a key
Yeah.
role in that Falcons comeback last year.
Because the Eagles are not going to let Gronk and Danny Amendola, if they can possibly
Right.
beat them, they're going to make the Brandon Cooks, the Chris Hogans, and the James Whites.
I like my chances then.
Right? Isn't that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Hogan's right to be that guy because if they're smart, they watch the film. Amendola killed the last couple of weeks. They're going to try to take him out.
It'll be very, very interesting to see if they double Gronk, or do they bet that Malcolm Jenkins can cover Gronk one-on-one? Because if they double Gronk, somebody's open.
I don't think anybody wants to take Gronk one-on-one, do you?
No.
Well, that's why they'll probably work a zone, and I think Brady can beat
He will
any
pick
zone
them
in the
apart.
world.
The Eagles do not have a great defense. And
They got a great line.
They played a pitiful schedule. They had a very weak schedule. And
They've had a lot of adversity also, though.
right, they've had a lot of guys injured, but a lot of the games that they won, a lot of points were scored.
Yeah,
by the
but
opposition.
I don't know. I have way more respect for that defense than you do.
You do?
I do, yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've got Jenkins is really good. They've got solid linebackers, that defensive line. They play very aggressive Jim Schwartz defense. The defense is legit.
Yeah, their defense was put in a. They don't play very good complementary football. That offense was racing down the field, and so the defense was always on the field.
Well, Uncle Joe was right last year in the Super Bowl, and we have to give him his props. And I love giving Uncle Joe his props. But he said it was going to be a James White day. Does he repeat that on Sunday?
No, I'm with you on the Chris Hogan, but my other sleeper. Do you realize they've only had one turnover in the last 6 games, and that was kind of the gimme when Roethlisberger threw it right to them. They haven't had a defensive touchdown in 2 years. They haven't had a pick 6 in 4 years.
That's unbelievable.
I think Duron Harmon is due to be.
Wow,
Joe.
He's
the
going
MVP.
deep into the bag of tricks.
Let's go with a dark horse, you know?
Wow,
Yeah.
I'd say that.
So
is
if you're
a-
in
Lord for
Vegas
Joe.
and you want a comp bet, that's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, if you're going to go defense, I think Gillislee is kind of cycling up to form. you
Gilmore.
know. Gilmore,
Yeah.
I beg your
Yeah,
pardon.
absolutely.
I wouldn't be
But
surprised.
Harmon's the ball hawk. The rest of them don't seem to be. They don't have playmakers on that defense. That's the difference between this defense and defenses in the past.
The other thing, too, is I think that Philadelphia will attack the linebackers more than the secondary.
We have linebackers?
Yeah,
Right?
they take
Totally
position.
agree.
I mean, Landon Roberts, as little as he can see the field.
Yeah. Well, look, I think this
Lee,
whole thing,
Flowers.
my guess is defensively for the Patriots, it does come back to the linebackers, and it's going to be, can they deal with that run-pass option that Philadelphia's used so well? And that's a linebacker. That's almost the entire responsibility falls on the linebackers.
Yeah.
And if they play with discipline and stay in their lanes, if you shut down the run-pass option versus the Eagles and make Foles throw the ball down the field, that's the one. I don't think it's going to be a close. I think it's going to be a close game, but the one way to a ticket to a blowout is make the Foles throw the ball down the field.
Make Foles
Right.
beat you.
Yeah, make Foles throw it to
And
Duron
make him throw the ball 15, 20 yards down the field over and over again. No chance.
Yeah, that's
I
a great
just,
point.
I just feel like Philadelphia is going to want to just move the chains and keep Brady off
Totally.
the field, move the chains, keep Brady
Yep.
off the field, and then fight to the last minute.
Yeah, they saw what Bortles, who's a low-end quarterback, what he was able to do last week. But Bortles played a very tight game. But also, the running backs and the receivers played very well, catching the ball, running well. That doesn't happen in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Guys get exposed very quickly. This is not a Philadelphia home game.
No, it's not. Now, I got a question for you guys. How many passes do you think Brady will throw? Over 32 passes or under 32 passes in
Over
this game?
32.
Oh, I think he just
Chuck it, he's
over
chucking.
32 to warm up, right,
Oh,
Joe?
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, you know, I'm sure that the Patriots would love for this to be a game where they can run the ball.
Yeah.
Because that means you're keeping them off the field, right? The one weakness recently in these big games is we seem to get clobbered on the times of possession in some of these games.
Yeah, and the key to last year's Super Bowl was we had the time of possession, and
And
Falcons
then
just
some.
got gassed.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of the experience for the Patriots has to do with the halftime. The halftime is what 45 minutes to an
Preparing
hour
for 2 games.
Yeah, right. And Patriots are used to that. Philadelphia Eagles for the first time, and I'm telling you that is a huge
deal.
I say you
advantage.
start
I
burning
agree.
energy after the 10-minute mark. You start burning energy, and then when you go out, 40 minutes later, you got nothing.
What I heard, the Falcon players were taking texts from friends and family congratulating them on the game. So I mean, that's how long you stay out there.
One of my favorite insights of the last couple of years I'd heard from experts was someone, and I can't remember who said it. It might have been Michael Lombardi. Said in a Super Bowl, you have to be prepared, and it's not just play 60 minutes, of time of game. You have to be prepared to play football for over 4 hours. If you figure you're on the field, and that last 20 minutes you're on the field and you're warming up, you got to play the entire first half, the full 30. These games go like 3.5, almost 4 hours. That is mentally and physically exhausting.
And most of these guys are such regimented in the way they carry their day out. When they get their coffee, when they get taped up, when they go to the locker room, everything's different. Everything's different. Not for the Patriots. They've done it, and the most important guy in the Patriots has done it several
8
times.
Yeah.
I will be sick if LeGarrette Blount has a good game because he always
He'll
stumps.
cough it up. He'll cough it
Yeah,
up.
that's right. Is that a prediction? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
there
he
you
did
go.
last year.
Yeah, I had that same feeling. I feel that if anybody's gonna fumble on the Philadelphia Eagles, it's gonna be LeGarrette.
And
He's a
Ajay
mole.
could do it too.
Yeah,
Give it
absolutely.
up too.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
the Patriots
Ajay
have-
fumbles, that's why they
Patriots
got
seen
rid of
him
him.
enough.
Yeah, let's put it this way: if the Eagles had Dion Lewis, I would be extremely nervous about this game. Right. But they got a couple of guys who you just sort of feel like the Patriots can stop them. Right. They don't have that back, like that explosive.
They don't have
unbelievable-
superstars.
No Bell. There's no.
Yeah.
Let's not forget about one thing too. Their quarterback is not good enough to be their number 1 quarterback. He's the number 1 quarterback because the other guy got hurt.
Right. He was a guy who wanted to retire from football.
So I mean, and as great as he was, that's the whole thing that throws.
does
up.
have
as
great
Great as he
receivers.
was against Minnesota, that really throws things.
He's got 4 quality receivers.
Yeah, but he'd be on the level of a Trent Dilfer if he were to win a Super Bowl as far as quality
Oh,
quarterback
yeah.
to win a
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
No, it'd be remarkable if he, as a backup, Hostetler, and I can't remember who else. as a-
Hostetler and
Peyton Manning, his last year was.
No, but I'm talking about backups, like just
Yeah.
backup quarterbacks.
Dilfer.
Yeah, he was a starter. But
Let's
yeah,
be
no,
honest.
it'd
If they
Doug
had
Williams.
Tom
Look-
Brady and we had Nick Foles,
Look, if they had
we may
Carson,
not
by
even
the way,
watch
guys,
game.
if they had Carson Wentz,
Oh,
this would
absolutely.
this would be a pick'em game. I mean, we would be even more so.
because he's a legit top
yeah.
10 quarterback,
With
which is
Alshon
great.
Probably
Jeffries
the
and
probably the
Aguilar
MVP.
and Wentz.
Yeah.
So some things to watch. Now, the coach, Doug Peterson of the Philadelphia Eagles, he's a risk taker, which I just love. The Eagles
likes to go on
the
fourth
Eagles
down.
try on the 4th down much more than any team in the NFL. Okay, so you're going to see a guy taking risks, and that goes right into Bill Belichick's
Yes and
hands,
no,
right?
but I have to say though, I was really impressed by Peterson in the NFC Championship game. They were up big, remember, and then they got the ball back late in the first half with like 59 seconds to go.
Right.
And he did something that you see most coaches not do, especially young coaches. He went for it, and he stepped on the Vikings' throats, and that's the kind of thing you have to do
Put
to
'em
beat the
away.
Patriots. You have to put them away, and that's what the Jaguars didn't do. So it's risky, but I do like their aggressiveness of that coaching staff.
Right, but there's a difference when they were in control every minute of that game, right?
Yeah, the Vikings were tapped out. Yeah, I mean, they
Yeah,
could
but
recover from that.
he's from the Andy Reid school, right? He's Andy Reid's
which we
boy.
like, Joe, because
And
Andy Reid.
Reid has a great record against the Patriots.
Yeah.
And even back in 2007, remember they almost beat us? Remember the onside kick to start the second half? They had the Patriots back on their heels.
But Andy Reid's never beat us in the playoffs when it really
Not in the
counted.
playoffs.
Right,
Yeah.
but he's not scared. Look, I just
Beats
think
us opening day
I
every
like
year,
the
though.
fact that they've got an aggressive coaching staff, offense, defense, and everything. So I think we definitely have the advantage on the coach. I'm not arguing
Right.
that. The question is, will they make a catastrophic mistake? Because Pete Carroll made a catastrophic mistake, Dan Quinn made a catastrophic mistake, and the guy Marone sat on it. And
You can't make those against this guy. though.
Belichick says that Carroll called the right play.
Okay,
he's
but
blowing
do you,
sunshine.
Look, on those 4th down plays, do you
blowing
want Nick
sunshine.
Foles as your quarterback? I understand if you have Tom Brady, but you're taking a chance with a guy who's a
Yeah.
lifetime backup.
What are the
other than one
chances of
season.
him having another game like that?
Not a chance that he has another game like that.
Sure,
You
he had
guys
a
are.
whole
I wish
season
I
like
had your
that.
optimism.
Like that? Like
No,
the Vikings
you're
game?
gonna see. If,
What do you have, like 27 touchdowns and 4
Watch early.
interceptions?
Watch early. You're going to see a lot of chances for the Patriots to pick up balls. A lot of balls are going to be thrown over receivers.
I don't think
early.
so. I
You
think
watch.
no, I think
He's
he's
pretty
gonna.
good about keeping.
I think exactly. I think Peterson's going to put him in positions to make safe throws early in the game and see if the Patriots can stop all this play action, run pass
Like
option
Bortles
stuff.
did, just pick on the line.
Bortles looked really good against us.
What do
2
you have,
weeks
12,
ago.
14 in a row he
Yeah.
completed?
Yeah, I was exasperated that you knew exactly what the Jaguars going to do offensively. They were going to dink and
Right.
dunk, and we
So why
didn't
couldn't
make the
Nick-
adjustment for really
Until half.
2.5
So why
quarters.
couldn't that happen now?
Well, I assume that Patricia, his last game as a Patriots coordinator, will have
Maybe he's already working for the other team.
but we'll have tightened the ship, right, Pete? And
Like Parcells.
and create and have some creativity, blitz a little bit, put some pressure on Nick Foles early.
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's another good point. The fact that we know that those two guys aren't going to be there next year.
Right.
They really want to win this week. Really want to win.
Right. We saw Josh McDaniels do a lot of creative calls last week, right? It's about time, Matt
Look,
Patricia.
I
all
have-
you're doing is calling from the blitz constantly,
I have
right?
2 words for you.
What's that?
Landon Roberts.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I get all this stuff, right?
Right.
But then when they get on the field and they're presented with a run-pass option in front of them, those guys need to make good decisions. And if Landon Roberts
Can't
does
chase.
what he does, which is he plows through a gap that he believes he sees, then you're looking at an 80-yard touchdown, and we're like, what the hell has happened again?
I know, but it seemed that when the Patriots started to blitz, when they started to put a little pressure on Bortles, that's when things.
And I hope
think
that's what they do.
They'll come with a little safety help, I think, to help them out early, I think,
Am I
to
at
help
least
those
getting you to think
linebackers.
am I at least getting you to think just a little bit about this?
What think about
About
what?
it not being a blowout?
No. Well, we'll talk about the score, and I know you're going to steal it. So
No, I'm not stealing. By the way, I've seen that score, and I'm not stealing that score. That's a dog. You don't want to bet on that score.
Oh, you've got to be kidding. All right, so first of all, we need to talk about the Eagles fans. The Eagles fans are the worst fans right? And this is a
They're
fan
the
show.
best fans.
They are the worst fans in sports, unquestionably.
They can't run for subway trains.
No, I mean they had a jail in Veterans Stadium. I assume they still have one in Lincoln Financial.
They're very passionate. They're fanatic.
Right. So to go to a Super Bowl, to have to go to Minnesota as a Patriots fan, to freeze your butt off, right?
Yeah.
To then have to deal with those drunken assholes. Oh my
Okay.
God! Right?
What?
I can say that on this
Yes,
show.
you can.
I
The
mean,
Kerman family will be going to Philadelphia next summer.
no, really. But do you buy into the whole fact? And I don't. I think that this is an away game for both teams.
Yeah.
And
It's a great
you know,
point.
and they always say whoever's cheering the loudest, that makes it home game for that
No.
team. I mean, does it really make any difference?
I don't think it's ever mattered a bit. You know what's interesting in this whole little mini controversy about wearing white jerseys or wearing blue jerseys? To me, it's pretty simple. It's an away game. Wear the white jerseys. It's an away game. They're not in Foxborough.
Yeah.
So wear the white jerseys.
Yeah, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
And the Patriots have played well on the road. In fact, Brookline's own Tom Brady mentioned that
Better
if they
on the
had
road.
if they had to go on the road, even for the AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh, no worries here. So this is a road game, and I'm setting it up for it, boys. And I've gone back and forth, but I'm going to tell you something. The Patriots will have the easiest Super Bowl that they've ever had.
I don't know.
That I've checked the schedule. Eagles played no one. The NFC East was weak. They end up playing a lot of teams like the Bears. They lost to Seattle. The Rams put up 38 points. The New England Patriots are going to win 37-19 and coasting.
Oh, I love that. I have that square. That's 7-9 square.
Adrian may have me vacuuming by mid fourth quarter. All right, Joe.
Oh, I like what you're saying, and I think Tom Brady. I gotta say, he has really stuck his neck out with these 15-minute mockumentaries he's releasing.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that right after this.
Yeah, I mean, he's really sticking his neck out like no one since Lenny Dawson in Super Bowl V. So I think he's gonna come up with a big game, and I like that 30, but I'll go 31 to 31-21.
31-21. Russ.
The Patriots have won 5 Super Bowls by a total of 19 points.
Yeah.
Right.
Right?
It's
So that's
always
the
the
three
deal.
between
Yeah.
3 and 4 points.
Right.
The 2 they lost by basically an average of 3.5 to 4 points. There is nothing in our history that suggests this is going to be anything but a 1-score game.
The first time
the
forever.
the final drive of the game always matters with the Patriots in 7 Super Bowls. So
I
I'm just
understand
looking
that.
at this thing and saying, why is there reason to believe it'll be otherwise? I'd say Patriots 24-20, they win but do not cover.
Oh, the same score as last week. All right, Pete.
I think the same way as you. I say 27-21.
Patriots. All right, and they would cover. So it would be
They would
it's
cover.
a 5.5 spread.
Yeah, I'm not betting on you. That's a bad bet.
Okay. All right. All right. So,
a bad
boys,
bet.
some party tips.
Yeah.
Just a couple of things. Anyone who says I'm just here to watch the game because of the commercials will be asked to leave at halftime.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, by the way, I had to have a little talk with Adrian last week, who all of a sudden wanted to start inviting people over to the house, even though we're 4-0 with the
yeah.
same configuration.
Yeah. Exactly. Russ sits at his exact spot. on
Not
the
that we
couch.
pay attention to the jersey colors or anything.
Although that Morgan Freeman commercial lip syncing to
Nobody's
Missy
coming.
Elliott.
Nobody's coming.
Can't
Nobody's
do that.
coming.
What are you, crazy?
Nobody's coming. See, look, no, it's the same group. The boys ask, "Can we bring friends?" No. Why would you bring that?
Absolutely.
They're wearing the
not.
same clothes.
All right, so we have to talk about Tom versus Time. Have you guys seen
I have,
these
yeah.
episodes?
What's that about?
Yeah, you haven't heard of it. First of all, why does Tom need to do this? Is he not out there in the public enough that?
Why? Now why do you?
I'm just
do-
asking a
you just
question.
Right away, you're
I
going
asked a
after-
question. Why does he
just
need to do
because
it?
it's not Tom versus Jimmy, you're not happy.
That would be very interesting. But
Why
why
wasn't Jimmy invited out to Montana?
Yeah.
I have a simple question for you. If this thing was Jimmy versus Time, what would you be saying right now?
Oh my
what
God!
a great
you
picture
say
of
what a
his
good
internal
time?
life.
Must watch TV. The world
No, look, I think it's like a lot of other stuff that he's been doing over the last couple of years. It's about his legacy. It's about telling his story,
His future.
his brand, and he wanted to do it in a controlled way. And he's done. Look, I expected to hate it. I actually think they've done a pretty decent job
Me
on it.
too. I agree.
Yeah,
I
the third one
expected to
was
hate
pretty
it.
good.
I
Yeah, the third
just
one was
didn't.
good.
I thought it was just going to be, those behind the bees brewing stuff that started off nice and they got a lot of inside, and then it just became a puff piece.
Yeah, right.
Right. This, you're like, I'm getting stuff out of this.
Yeah, and look, the end of the first episode when he was on Route 1, they had just lost
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Chiefs
that was
game,
fun.
and Giselle was talking about life as like
We've all been
wives,
there.
wives talk to husbands, and then he just revs the accelerator.
We've all been there.
Yeah, we
I think that was a truck next to him.
Yeah.
we felt
Might
like
even
Tom
been a
Brady.
little horn in there.
You're not. I'm not getting in trouble at home for this. So this is not taking me down.
No, look, it's Patriots porn if you want to keep watching
Yeah.
stuff like that, and it's better than all the other 2-week
Yeah.
crap of
I
hype
think it's
that they've
really
had.
good. I think it's
think he's
great.
done a
I
good
think
job.
another one comes out tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I think it's
No,
what a
today. I think
6-part
it's
series.
today.
Yeah,
Part 4?
Yeah. All right, so we got to go to the Celtics and
Why?
because you got to talk about Marcus because every week we talk about Marcus, who's not so smart. This week Marcus decides to take on a wall with his fist, and
Well,
he
are you
loses.
surprised? That was the night he didn't even know the score and stepped back to take a three.
It's even
when
worse
they were
than
down
that,
by
though.
1.
But it's even worse than that because apparently the thing that actually made him do it was some pictures that were posted to the internet.
We're taken
And-
off or something, right?
Well, they posted, then they were taken off, but
Yeah.
they were out there long enough for people to see. Marcus is dealing with some stuff, I think.
Yeah. So Marcus is not long for the Boston Celtics. No way, right? He's going to be re-signed by this
Why
team
not?
after that.
Because he hit a wall?
No, well, he's out for 2 weeks because
It's
he
more
hit a
because
wall.
he can't throw it into the ocean.
Yeah.
I mean, I just you can't watch it anymore.
He's a character guy.
So how what did that punch? Yeah.
Yeah, character guy.
Yeah. What did that punch cost him?
Probably nothing because some team is gonna decide that that's the kind of tough player
They
they want
want
on
that
their
guy.
team and pay him $12 million a year.
You really think that?
Yeah.
But it won't be the Celtics.
No.
I doubt it. I think that you could see that Brad's patience is starting to run thin with some of these guys right now.
Yeah. All right. So we got to see hopefully a final preview on Saturday.
was a great
The Celtics versus Warriors, and they have been great games for a
Yeah.
couple of years now, right? Is this what the NBA wants?
Absolutely.
Right?
Oh, sure.
No doubt.
The
Yeah, even if you're
Warriors
not a
just
fan, you
replaced
like
the
that.
Lakers. That's all.
You get the whole Kyrie thing. There's a lot there. There's plenty for ABC to promote on this one.
So it's really not what when Danny's trying to acquire players, we thought it was Danny thinking about the Cavaliers. But it's really Danny thinking, how can we beat the Warriors? Would you agree with that?
I think it started with the Cavaliers.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
I agree with Pete. Yeah, I think they got a big break. I mean, did anyone see this Cavaliers meltdown coming?
No,
this
not
And
past
then
week?
Kevin Love getting hurt now.
Yeah, they bad luck, but boy, I mean, what a meltdown! It just doesn't feel like last year they were struggling, but you felt like, well, they could turn it on in the playoffs. It doesn't look like it.
No.
Well, Isaiah's become a train wreck, right?
It's sad, man.
That was a very poor trade.
Unbelievable, right? In
Yeah.
retrospect, and I don't like seeing it with IT. I mean, the guy.
I'd like to see him
guy
be
gave
a-
his heart
a
and
hero,
soul,
yeah.
but boy, looks like a shell of himself right now.
And you couldn't say Jay Crowder without saying Jay Crowder sucks, right? And I don't know why the rest of the NBA, especially the Cleveland Cavaliers, didn't watch this guy play. But we were happy to get rid of him, and now the Cavaliers would be happy to get rid of him too.
Yep.
How can you have such a lopsided deal in the NBA?
Yeah, I think a lot of these GMs get so attached to contract conditions, right? So the whole thing you always heard about Crowder was he has one of the best contracts in the NBA.
Yeah.
But anyone who watched Jay Crowder play last year, he was missing wide open threes all the time. And if, God forbid, you got a hand in his face, he was lucky to hit the rim.
Right.
But you get lulled into this like, oh, he's got a great contract. Well, the contract's not going to play 25 minutes a night, right?
Right.
The player plays 25 minutes a night. And a lot of these GMs just get wrapped up in, finances. And I don't think Danny does.
I think
Well,
they
I
thought
think
they were gonna get
Cleveland
more
really
out of
wanted
IT.
that draft pick.
Yeah, and it's another good point. And they thought they'd get more out of IT.
So we got to go to the Red Sox for a second. And I'm telling you something. We're talking about collusion in Major League Baseball. Well, Jansen, the reliever, the closer for the Dodgers,
Yeah.
started talking about collusion a couple of days ago and said, a lot of us are starting to talk about going on strike right now. I mean, that,
Really? I
which
didn't hear that.
yeah.
I didn't hear that either.
I mean, the MLB and the players are not happy with each other right now, right? Why did this materialize in this offseason? I mean, nobody's getting
Nothing's
signed.
materializing this offseason.
No, right, but I'm saying the silence. Have you ever seen the Red Sox have not acquired one new player in the offseason? Think about that.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened?
Yeah, they just re-signed Moreland. That's it.
I mean, we have not, and we don't have any good young players to think about coming up in the major leagues. There is really no storylines in
What are you
spring
talking?
training.
Matt
Devils.
Albert's just got a contract.
No, but
Fat Matt.
is he really?
Yeah, he got
He's
$2
still
million.
elite.
Yeah,
He did not.
he did 5, I think. I think he get 5
my
for 2
God.
years.
And that bears the question: Matt Alberts is still alive?
Yeah, you just want to be a relief pitcher.
And it
is
just
what
shows you
want
the
to be.
Mitch Moreland contract, 2 years and $14 million, may end up being the
Yeah.
worst contract of the offseason.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to your question, it could also be that a lot of these teams are wising up and realizing they're just not getting production from these big contracts
Yeah.
that they want, and they're just holding the line. I mean, it could be collusion, but it could also just be these guys saying, statistically, when you sign these guys who are over 30 years old to big contracts,
Yeah,
you
we
get
pay
nothing
a lot
out
of
of
money
them.
for nothing.
Well, what's the storyline for
2
the Red
years.
Sox going into spring training?
Well, that's a whole other story.
Give me one headline.
the coach, the new manager.
New
I mean,
manager?
he's the headline, right?
I would say, yeah.
And he came out.
You're right.
He came out the last few days and said, I think I can be best friends with the players and still manage them. What?
Could we maybe give him a chance to show up in spring
No,
training
I
and run
know.
He said it. I didn't say it. I'm
Yeah,
just
but
looking
you
He wants Veritek on that bench.
Oh, I mean, why do you hate Alex Cora so
I
much?
don't hate Alex Cora. No, I just think that's a kind of a bizarre statement to say, don't you?
I'm giving the guy a chance.
He wants to be friends with the guys.
There's not one winning manager, winning coach that's ever gone out and said, "I'm great friends with all the players." That's
Some
my
of the
winning
hockey guys.
success."
I want him to start calling guys by,
Jonesy.
Marshy and
Dusty.
Dusty,
More, he already got Mookie, right? I mean, do you
Chrissy.
Chrissy, right? It seems kind of bizarre. I don't know. I just think that the Red Sox have like 8 minutes to captivate us. during
I
the season.
totally agree with that.
I mean,
And they
God
start
forbid.
in March.
God forbid they get off to a rough
right?
start,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, but all they do is get off to a good start, and we're all forget
Yeah.
it.
and I can't wait to see the netting now. The netting has gone to.
Oh, you'll be able to see the netting from like outer space.
I know.
That's going all the way to the pesky pole.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to affect us in Section 8.
It's going all the way to Section 9, they said.
Yeah, well, so it'll affect us, right?
Fantastic.
I know.
Fantastic.
You'll be looking through it from
No, the
section A.
netting's a pain in the butt. I don't forget everyone. I don't get used to it when we move up.
How often does the ball come up?
When we sit in seats that aren't ours.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's our show for tonight, boys. I want to thank the boys. I want to thank everyone behind the scenes. Of course, the lovely and talented Adrian and handsome Todd. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and wickedlocal.com. And tune in next Wednesday night at 6:30 for another edition of the Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night, and go Patriots. I'm Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night. The elephants are in town.
Here comes the circus.